Good evening. I think the first thing that I want to say to each and every one of us is that, we should by now at least have some type of suspicion that there's things that are going on that we can't really see, but we feel it. There are, stuff that are happening right now in our political world, our real world, that we have to see that things are changing, that it is coming more evident that they are controlling, they are taking the point of moving humanity or our souls and all of those things. And whether you believe it or not, that there is some type of archons or reptilians or all of that, you should be feeling something by now. And I'm just saying that it amazes me all the time when I talk to people that most people have not had a very calm day where just everything would just picture perfect, no anxiety, no bills, no nothing, just nothing, where they're just blissful and they just can't even remember that. And we can sit here every day and blame it on life or blame it on whatever. But I want to tell you, it was a plan, and it is a plan that's been implemented, and it is working very hard. And I think you feel it, don't you? I know that you feel that quiet, what I would call persistent feeling that sometimes is fundamentally wrong. I know that it's not just chaos of our world, it's the endless cycle of conflict, scripted division. It's deeper. It's a feeling of entrapment, a sense that a reality that you inhabit is a stage and you are merely an actor reading the lines that you don't even write or in a play that you don't even understand. You feel it when you look at the systems of power like we see today with all the stuff that's going on with the shutdown or whatever, so vast and cold that it seems inhuman. You feel it when you look into the mirror and a stranger looks back. And it's you, and stranger driven by impulses, emotions, and feels alien, that feels programmed. What if that feeling isn't paranoia? What if it's not madness, but a crack in the facade, the first glimmer of light through the prison wall? What if the most scandalous secret of our history is the truth that the cosmos is a prison? That it was built by a blind, psychopathic God, and that its wardens are still here. And they are the magistrates, the governors, the ancient rulers. The Gnostics call them the Archons. And today, and by the end of this video, you're going to know who they are, where they come from, and why they're here, and what are they doing to you. So I want to welcome you to Truth versus Authority, and I hope your weekend was just blissful. And if it wasn't, there's a reason why. If it wasn't perfect, there's a reason why. But we're going to get into tonight. I'm your host, Roderick Martin. And once again, this is something I want you to pay a close attention to, because it may rattle a few feathers, because the story of truth sometimes does that to people, and pretty much. But I'm pretty excited about where we're going to go with this story. And it's going to be all about this little pesky thing that you see here. This is my reptilian motif here. This is not the Draconian. This is the reptilian. So just when you keep in mind that this is what we're talking about today. And I had this done so that it's just a reminder that we don't forget what is happening here. And so let's just get into it. Because the world of the second and third centuries of Common Era was a world coming apart at the seams. For the ancient mind, particularly from those perspective of Egyptians and Hellenistic traditions, it was an apocalypse, the end of the age, centuries of Roman conquest, widespread political instability, and profound economic decay created a spiritual vacuum, a world that felt profoundly wrong. This was a world that many felt was worth escaping, like some of you want to do today here. In response to this crisis, a veritable menu of spiritual technologies emerged, and all promising a form of escape. We're talking about the inward turn to Stoicism, right? They offered a fortress of the mind. Mystical ascents narratives of Jewish Merkava philosophy and the Hermetic traditions offered a ladder to the stars. And perhaps none of these spiritualities was more radical, more extreme in diagnosis than the collection of belief that we have come to all call Gnosticism. While not a single or unified church, these various schools of thought, the Gnosticism and the Valentine Ophites, and the narratives, right? They taught that the true reality is purely spiritual one, a fullness of divine light known as a pleroma. And this fullness is presided over by an infallible, unknowable, and a truly good God. I want to say hello to some of you here tonight. Give me an audio check. My mods, let me know if you hear me loud and clear. Please just put it in the chat. So I will get into the chat and see some of you in here today. D. Hollis and of course our godmother Diana is in here as well. We have Diane Rosier here as well. So anyway, let me keep going. We are loud and clear. All right, thank you. Now, this Gnostic myth states that a metaphysical tragedy occurred, one of the divine emanations from this god, an eon named Sophia of wisdom, in an impulsive act of creation, sought to emanate her own without divine counterpart of the consent of the Great Spirit. So she created something. Her mistake did not create a flawed good. It created a horror, a nightmarish aborted creature, the Demiurge, the craftsman. Now, this being known in the ancient text as Yababa, or whatever you want to pronounce, the Sakis or Samael or whatever, was a blind, arrogant, psychopathic entity. Ignorant of the pleroma above him, he looked out upon the chaos and his madness declared, I am God, and there is no other God aside me. Now, for those Gnostic Christians, this was the true identity of the creator of the Old Testament. And unlike Platonism, Stoicism, and the mainstream Judaism and Christianity, which saw that the cosmos as a beautiful and good creation, the Gnostics saw it as a prison, a machine forged by this malevolent Demiurge to trap the souls of humanity. And they're doing it today. But why? Because in the final act of cosmic sabotage, the divine realm took pity on the uninformed consciousness of humanity and smuggled a divine spiritual spark into the heart of mankind. So somebody had pity for us and said, I'm going to put something inside of them that is hidden. And I want to make sure you understand the word hidden, because it's so important today. It is so important that that word is important, because we are therefore the prisoners of war holding a piece of God in a jail built by a demon. Now, today, I want to give you my disclaimers, ladies and gentlemen. I got my grammar box, but it's over here to the left as always. So if I mispronounced something, but if you did understand it and your ego heard it, then it is working properly. Over here to the left is my spelling, unlimited letters. So if you see something spelled on the screen somewhere initially, then you have the full autonomy to go and correct it yourself. And it's unlimited access. There's nothing keeping you from doing it. Just know that it is all yours and you can do that. So I just want you to know. So where I'm going with this, that the Gnostic Christ was not a figure of sacrificial atonement, but a divine messenger sent from the true good God, a spice, or I would say probably a spy from another dimension. And his mission was not to die for our sins, but to reveal the truth of condition and provide the secret gnosis of knowledge of how to escape. This is somehow it was inverted, that he's dying for our sins. And first of all, you are a beautiful being. You are a perfectly designed, whatever you want to call it, light being. There's nothing wrong with you. You're not going to hell. You're not going. Now, you want to make better decisions that based upon humanity, but that is all that we do. We make some good and bad decisions, but you are not only loved, but you are a divine spirit, and I want you to know that, and so am I. But, and however, this brings us to these wardens of this cosmic prison. See, the Demiurge or whatever was not alone. He created a retinue of malevolent beings to act as his enforcers and administrators and co-creators of this flawed reality. If you go back to ancient Greek, they were called the Archons, or the rulers. And this is not a title of majesty, right? It's a political term, like the magistrate of governor. They are the cosmic functionaries, petty tyrants, and gatekeepers that we have today. And they are the beings most intimately responsible for the entire mess. And they are the first hurdle that the soul faces in its escape. Let me make sure you understand that. Once this soul of ours is getting out of here, we're going to face them. But you're going to know that it's not going to be fire and brimstone. It's not going to be, you're going to be burning and all of these things. You want to be able to recognize and know and have the truth, and so that your soul will bypass the lies, the trickery that's going to bring you back here. That's the whole bottom line. And like I say, we'll get into that. And for centuries, our understanding of these beings was filtered almost exclusively through the furious polemics of their enemies. See, the church fathers like Irenaeus and Hippolytus, if I'm pronouncing that right, who hunted the Gnostics as heretics. But see, back in 1945, let me give you some history. Where's my notes? Darn it. I don't have my notes. All right, I'm going to wing it. All right, so back in 1945, in the desert of Upper Egypt, there was a discovery that was made that changed everything. It was like a clay jar that was unearthed near the town of Nag Hammadi, right? And it revealed a hidden library of Gnostic texts, in their own words, hidden from the book burners of the rising Roman Church. Now, alongside of these texts, we look at this Greco-Egyptian magical papyri or whatever they want to call it, which contain a wealth of incarnations, rituals, and the very names of these mysterious beings. So it listed who they were. It's like the Epstein files, right? But these documents, combined with the transcript of the investigations, allowed them to piece together secret mythology of the Archons, which what I thought about was stunningly detail the cosmology of our jail cell. Now, when I kind of started looking into this stuff, and the text described their origins, their nature, their hierarchy, and their methods of control. Now, they are the creators of our, I would say, physical bodies, forging us from four elements as the prison of matter. But more terrifyingly, when you really think about it, they are the creators of our physical bodies, our rage, our fear, our jealousy, our love of pleasure. The Gnostics saw these not as mere human failings, but as the inner puppetry of the Archons, the strings that they pull to keep us deluded, controlled, and blind to the divine spark that we carry within. That's why I always tell you, your eyes are useless when your mind is blind. It's plain and simple. And if you don't know it by now, it is definitely time for you to begin to understand the importance of sigils and protection, every day. I don't know if I have my other one, but I keep mine in my pocket. In fact, here's one of my sigils. I just keep my protection sigil in my pocket. Truth versus authority. Look at it right there. It's in my pocket. I just keep it. And I wear it in my hat. But if I forget wearing my hat or shirt, then I keep it. So as you know, Brother Joseph and I are going to be doing a symbols and sigil virtual lecture on the 22nd. And, I think if you don't understand the fact that you need some protection and what's happening, and let me give you a rule before we get back on this story here to understand the importance of symbolism. Because listen, this is no thing that you should just ignore. For example, here's a quote from Gertrude. She says, symbols are the language of something invisible spoken into the visible world. I mean, there is some truth in that, right? A lot of truth in that. When you get down to this, every human being should know two languages, the language of society and the language of signs. One serves as to communicate with the other people, and the other one serves to understand God's messages. I think oftentimes that we don't understand that we have consciousness, subconscious, and the collective unconscious. I think a lot of people forget that. And they think that you're going to meditate your way into the collective unconscious. That's not how that works. It'll give you some area, but that is done with symbols and symbolism, right? It's a reason for that. Because see, Manly P. Hall, he said symbolism is the language of mysteries. By symbols, men have ever sought out to communicate to each other than thoughts, which transcends limitations of language. Basically, they're saying that it's important. And ever since I learned that, and I created my own protection symbol that I'd extend to you all, I understand to block what we're going to be talking about today, these archons and everything else. And make no mistake about it, you are led to believe that it's not happening. But if you look at the results of our lives, in most cases, you ought to know you should have something better. You ought to know you should be feeling better. You should know that you should have better relationships, better communications, better whole thing. But it is designed. It's not your fault. You just don't know. And it also gets you to program yourself that you won't even access knowledge that you don't understand that could open up something for you. Most people won't access it, won't even go there because they don't even understand it from the preliminary side of it. And it's truth, right? And the language is the origin essence and simply the system of signs, symbols that denote the occurrence of echoes in the human soul. Carl Jung talks about it. It's the access. So once again, let me put a banner across here and let's just let it scroll while we're talking tonight. There we go. Let me just do that. Anyway, so if you do decide, take a look at, a lot of his group, our groups are coming, and we're going to teach a little bit about creating your protection symbol or sigil. And then he's going to teach you the magic, as I break it down, he's going to teach you the magic of how to activate this thing. And like I said, it is nothing to be played with. It is true. It works and it's everywhere. But anyway, to understand the Archons conspiracy, all right, let me get you there. We must first decode the hierarchy. See, the Nag Hammadi text, particularly the Orphic Siphon of John, provided a chilling organizational chart for our cosmic prison. And at the top of this sits the chief archon, the Demiurge, Yagaba, or whatever you want to call him. He is the product of Sophia's fall and aborted fetus of divine power, ignorant and arrogant. His very form is a symbol of corrupted power, a hybrid of a lion and a serpent. Now, let me stop here because we've been going really deep into the serpent stuff. I've been showing, and a lot of you have been picking this up for your altars or your desks, the all-seeing eye with the serpent, and you're going to understand why it's important to understand the wisdom side of it. See, the lion is a timeless symbol of the sun, and you can find all this reptilian stuff and everything on the website. Go truthversusauthority.com and go shop or whatever. The lion is a timeless symbol of the sun, royalty, of sovereign self. It is fused with the serpent. It is fused with this serpent because it's the archetype of what we call cynic underworld or hidden knowledge, right? The hidden knowledge of poison is what they call it because you're not supposed to know this. And so they make this as one of the feared things in our lives, that the serpent. But yet, even Jesus himself says, be wise as the serpent. Oh, I'm not trying to have church with you today. You went to church yesterday. That's not what I'm trying to do. I ain't flipping up no Bible and everything else, but I do have my shadows, a reptilian guide that I can turn to, that I can tell you about all of this, and that the people who having it, once it all gets here and right, are going to have something that is out of this norm for them to navigate the shadows of this deception world. I do know that for a fact, and I understand it. And if you don't understand that, hey, yes, it all originated from the UFO world that I was in, Coast to Coast Radio, Ancient Aliens, History Channel, Fox Tubi, Discovery Channel, Gaia, all of these places, that it all started with the hunt of aliens, and now it's deeper than that. It's deeper than that. See, Yaldaba is the shadow of sovereign. right, is the shadow ruler, a twisted predatory king who mimics the authority of the true God. And he is, as the text state, blind. And his blindness is his arrogance. He is the ultimate narcissist, a shadow narcissist who is in his own madness, creates a flawed cosmos as a mirror of his own imperfection. How many people we know is like that? How many people you know is operating in that shadow? And that you might want to recognize them, because you can turn to any of the 54 archetypes out of this 500 and some pages, and you will find a distinctive conversation, the words that they use, the things that they say, the whole 9 yards. And you will find where you need to understand you. Because before this thing is over tonight, you're going to understand that it's bigger than that. It's in all of us. But from his own mindless, Yaldabaoth creates the lieutenants. The Gnostic text describes 7 primary archons and sometimes 12, go figure, who are appointed as rulers over the spheres of heaven. They are the accident planetary rulers, the heptads. They are the wardens of the 7 planetary spheres, the gates of this prison. This is the axe of Muda, if you go look it up, the world tree in reverse. It is not a path of connection, but a ladder of confinement. And each planet is a checkpoint, a toll booth, guarded by a demonic magistrate. And if you don't think demons are here and all of that, please, I cry for you. If you don't think they're out there, our children, I cry for you. I was just watching something on the news where a lady, her kid came home with something from the teacher or substitute teacher. And the teacher had them filling out stuff on sigils, not sigils, but demonic stuff, and had the kids to sign their name to a statement. And luckily, the parent caught it because she watched stuff like we do and called the school. And they didn't even see it. They didn't even know until they looked in and like, oh, yeah, we have to. But they're doing it right there, and they're trapping the children because there's something to that. And that's a whole nother show. That's things that we're doing in our community. But their control is deeper still. See, these archons, the texts say that they correspond to the days of the week, right? They are the masters of time, binding the human soul to a cycle of decay. We're talking about the food. We're talking about media. We're talking about everyday life, the anxiety. We're talking about the list just goes on and on and on. The whole point is designed so that these archonic things can keep you in a lower vibrational state. So we went from aliens, which is fine, to the reptilians, which exist, to to the shadows of all of that, to what they're after when we get down to protecting our solar plexus and all of those. And then we get down to the archonic stuff, and then we get into how they control us with what they call HAL, H-A-L, which is holographic. This is all a simulation, but it's a double down one. It's a simulation on top of one. And every now and then you still glitch. We all do. And that's okay if you learn how to program and work yourself through this and know that our souls are just kind of maneuvering through here. They don't have to stay here, but they need it back and forth. And this is why the price of souls is so expensive to them or to us. And people are signing it away because they're dumb enough to think there's nothing else after this. They're dumb enough to think that this is all there is. No, we're all there is, has been, and ever can be. The one source, the soul, the energy, the God in all of us. Not the system. Not the system. But anyway, I know we went. Anyway, then in an act of supreme demonic collaboration, I'm back to the Demiurge, right? The Demiurge commands his legions. He says, let us make human beings in our image. See, at first, I would tell you that was the aliens. If you came here 4 years ago when I was infant into the knowledge hunt and was certified UFO investigator, TV personality still. All of that is just about something flying around in those flying saucers. So when I went to that Genesis or whatever, let's make man in our image and likeness of ourselves, I'm like, okay, the aliens, we look like them. But now that I have gone deeper and the plot has thickened and the world is strange, it's real. This is why I'm wearing my sigil. And it protects me from people who think and want to attack. I guarantee you right now, if you are somebody who is a hater, I want you to file and try to send your energy, your negative right here. You see my protection. I guarantee you it's going to bounce back to you. I guarantee you eventually you get off of here. I guarantee you it is designed that way to protect me, the people that are with me. And when I do it in meditation and when we activate it, it works. I guarantee you. Practice right now. I'm looking at you right. I'll give you the opportunity to try to pierce this veil of high vibration that I've been in, and it stays there. They can't even find me. They can't see me. I'm confident. I know it. I'll close my eyes. I won't even look like you're coming. Come on. But it ain't that. It's other stuff. But anyway, when they say let's make men or make human beings in our image, the text describes a 365 Archons, angels gathering to construct a primordial human body, both physical and physical, right? And this is the Gnostic secret of our condition, that our physical bodies, this prison of matter, was built by them. So we are our base emotions, but our Archon forges the physical of the body. And another desire, another grief and fear. All of this stuff they have formed. You don't have to live that way. You don't have to live that way. I'm telling y'all. Think about how you have been feeling lately. I'm telling you, I've been through this transformation. Things are just off the chart better. Good. I get it now. Energy is there. The studying, the man, talking to source. Being able to have a contact with source that someone else communicated me with and just learning the truth. It's crazy. And do our best to make sure we explain it and everything else. But if it's confusing and if it sounds outlandish, then their programming is working. Because what you should have is curiosity. You should be curious to any and all things. And for those of you, like I said, who are signed up for Brother Yosef, New Life Tools, he understands the magic. Actually, I've learned a lot from him as well. I created my own personal sigil and it works. Life is but we think things are supposed to change overnight. We think it's just going to change tomorrow because we're living in this timeline or whatever, where days become hours and whatever and all this stuff, but it's a little different. So what we think as our human nature, our rage, our jealousy, our addictions, our love of pleasure, the Gnostics identified it as counterfeit spirit. It is the archonic program installed in our hardware, and they are the inner puppeteer, the strings that makes this marionette dance. They make it dance, period. And so when we started putting together our knowledge beyond reality events here in Dallas, after going through the whatever I want to call it, creating or not creating, but remembering that divine spark, it's a beautiful thing now. I'm just blessed to say that not only blessed, but to have created. I'm a creator. You are a creator. So for me to get there and create the environment that I can bring people down to help 101 people, that's our motto, 101, the speaker is the one, then I created that. It was all here in the mind, and now it's going to be a reality for some folks every month, that if they have the ability to come, by time these people, and they gather a little bit of information and truth from any of these people that's coming, their life will be different. And being able to meet some of these people and ask some personal questions at our VIP stuff. I created that. I created it. Can you create it? Probably so. You probably can. Also, you're in this vortex where if you're hearing me, then you're supposed to get the information. Because I spent years studying this. And this is the part that truly terrifies me when I go deeper into the story we're talking about tonight. This isn't just a story about demons in the sky. It's more of an intropsychic invasion. The Gnostics were the first to describe what modern research is now called psycho-spiritual parasites. The stuff is real. These things are real. They exist. Only because we think it's not there, we can't. But the texts are explicit. The Archons feed on our fear. They shadow parasites. They feed on the loose, the raw emotional energy that we generate when we're in the program states of rage, despair, anxiety, all these bills, all of this life, bad relationships, all of this stuff. They're loving it, man. They're just gobbling it up. And we're just going down, down, down. And then people are taking their lives because they can't have nothing left. And they can't put their hands and touch someone else at higher energy because they're low too. And so therefore we can't even charge each other. But that don't happen in our community. Y'all already know we charge. We have our sound stillness meditation at the beginning. Even children walk away like, man, I ain't just never felt so relieved for that one moment of hour that they're laying there getting that. It's a beautiful thing. And it's all from the creation. It's all part of creation. And when we sit down, now we're doing this on a larger scale. Watch, take a look. How many of you have took 30 minutes to sit there and listen to raw spiritual sound? And now you don't lie to yourself and say you have when you turned on the radio or you turned on some meditation. We're talking our true vibrational, those things are tuned to certain frequencies. We do that here. Now we're doing it twice a month. We got our events, and then we have our what I call C4. C4 stands for conspiracy and consciousness convergence community. It is time to bring those together. And we're doing it here. And some of it virtual, like, again, that's what's going across this screen. And if you don't get your protection sigil and for the price of less than a coffee a day or a bubble gum to come to this online lecture, that's fine. Don't think you do it, but you do know how you are feeling and you don't know why. But I guarantee you're going to figure it out when you get this information. Again, they're feeding off loose. It is real. Look it up. And we generate it because that's how they program us to give it to them. See, they connect directly to what Carl Jung called, right? The Archons are the ultimate personification of our collective shadow. This is why I was led to know to create this. This is 400 some pages. This was out of my theme. Now it just came and it's work. It is perfection for you to understand the shadows of deception, because you are focusing, most of us, on the reality of what they want, and they're using sigils and symbols and everything and getting into our collective unconscious shadow, activating it and making it rule you. This is why people act a certain way. But if you learn to control that superpower and integrate it, then you're going to be better off. But anyway, it's not just the personal darkness that we all carry, but a collective inhuman shadow, an autonomous, active, and malevolent intelligence that deviates our own minds away from their sane and proper applications. Why am I using words like proper application? Maybe this is a program. You're all starting to hear about it. You're seeing it. And make no mistake about it, you are witnessing what they're doing. When they introduce some of this new stuff, this new AI, and now you don't even know what's real. I know you have looked at videos and stuff just like I have, and you got to look at it 3 or 4 times to realize this is not real. The dog didn't know the truck was coming. This is not real. The cat didn't jump on the tiger, but it looks real. This is not real. The blue puppy ran off a bear. The bear would eat him in the world that we know. I mean, I have Lassie, and my dog was named Lassie, but he ain't jumping up and telling me to move before a plank fall down, because these are not real videos, but it's things that we think we want. And we're buying it until problem reaction solution sets in, where we get angered by the fakeness, and then we're going to demand change, and they're going to introduce the solution, which is what they wanted to do all the time, get us to start verifying ourselves, get us into a digital world until we forget that we are not human spirits anymore, that we are part of this digital world. They're doing it, people. They're doing it. So my guess to you is or my word is to you, is that in this time that you hear now, you get the codes, you get everything, and protect yourself. And when you do leave, you don't come back. You don't come back. Because the problem is, when you do come back and you get familiar that you've been here before, you're going to feel crazy, because you're going to say, I should have done something about it last time. And the regret is one thing in life that we in now, but regret of spiritual worlds, timelines, you'll be depressed all over again. I can guarantee you that. See, the most shocking pattern, the one that bridges the ancient world with ours, is the appearance. Okay? The Nag Hammadi text describe two distinct classes of Archons. The first is the primary ruler, Yadaba, a draconic or reptilian type. Let me say that again. Go look up the Nag Hammadi text, and it describes two classes of Archons. And the first one is the primary ruler, a draconic or reptilian type. Look it up. And if you don't believe it, there was a movie that somebody had me to watch recently called The Children's End. I don't know if anybody see Childhood's End. Did they reveal who was ruling this world and how it was all? And you see how they messed with our minds and could put stuff in our minds? Didn't they reveal the truth? Didn't they, in the movie? It's 3 series. It's on Amazon, $9 or whatever. I know you'll go pay for that. You may not do whatever, but you'll do it. Didn't they reveal who was behind all this? Did you see what he looked like? They didn't make that up. Again, the first primary ruler, Yadaba, a draconic reptilian type. This is why I made these and had them done. All right. So we have one for draconian, which I shipped out today. And then we have these. But you can find both on the website, I think. Or not this one yet. This one just was made. I just got it. But this is a reminder so that you don't forget and let somebody tell you that, oh, they're just crazy, because they don't know. They don't know. I'm not talking to you. See how they listen and dipping? I'm not talking to you. This is my phone. This ain't even Chat GPT. My phone is listening. I'm telling you, when we had the pandemic that they had a long time ago, everybody was feeling what they was thinking was showing up on their phones. How did they do that? You can talk about something and go to YouTube, go somewhere else. It is showing up on the phone. The phone could be turned off and they're still hearing what you're saying. Now they can feel what you think. And you want to practice it? I don't do it tonight. Just think of some stuff really hard and watch it pops up on your phone. And they're into it, people. They have found a way to tap into it, and they know how to do it. They know how to do it. Anyway, the second type of legion is workers. They describe them as neon or embroidic type, like an aborted fetus, right? So they talk about the reptilian masters, army of embroidic fetus-like drones, right? The high mentality, what they have. And you already know you have a reptilian brain in you. You are part that. They have messed with our DNA long time ago. And I'm not joking. There are people today, if you look it up, that are born with tails. They doing it right now. Go look it up. Google, whatever. There are people still born with skin and all of those things. Hang on. I just know. See, I'm on live, but this is Doc Be Serious, and I know he just has something to say to call me while I'm on live. But they can hear you, Doc. What's going on, brother?
Good day, my brother. Good to hear from you. Good to know you. Good to be online with you live right now.
Yep. So I text you. So I'm trying to let them all know that you're gonna be in Dallas on December the 20th. And real quickly, just tell them what you're gonna be talking about, and I'm gonna get you out of here so I can finish my live.
We're gonna be talking about decoding the real true Christmas and how we could actually gain everything we want by knowing the proper rituals and ceremonies for the true Christmas, which is not on the 25th of December. It's a special date between the 25th and the 9th of January, and knowing this date can change your life. We're going to talk about that, and we're going to also do a core access experience, where with this core access experience, you get to create whatever you'd like in your life and have it encoded deep in your DNA. Deep down in your code, there is a code waiting for you to turn it on and open it with a key. Your DNA is not set. So we're going to work on changing your DNA to react and unfold based on your desire. So that's going to be on the 20th. This is the day that will change your life, guaranteed. This is no question. This is not something you got to work at. You just have to be there, be ready, and willing to shift so you can manifest what you're here to manifest.
See, I told them a while ago that I'm a creator. It's in me, and I created this thing. And my friend Doc and everyone is coming to Dallas, Texas, because I am a creator. You know?
You sure are.
Yes.
You sure are. We're going to teach other people to become creators. Everybody has a creator in them. It's just about knowing how to unfold it and express that creativity, which is deep down in our DNA and is hidden, but it's there. Knowing the code of how to get to that DNA and become the person you desire is important. So on the 20th, everybody will become creators. And then it's up to you.
That's it. Well, I'm going to call you a little later, my brother, or tomorrow, whenever. I appreciate you calling me. And I'm just glad you saw the missed call and you didn't even read the text. That's how I know it's important. You just knew I called and let me just return the call because you didn't read the text. So that tells me of importance. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a creator. Yes. All right. Love you, brother. And I'll talk to you soon.
Love you. Travel light.
All right. All right. So, because I had told him I was going to be live. And so he didn't have to call. I'll talk to him later when I called him earlier. But I'm saying to you, in order for you to be that creator that he's talking about, though, you better learn how to block out what they are getting you so you can find it. You better learn it. This is why I talk about it and give you all the this is not a book. This is a guide to 54 reptilian archetypes that's in every last one of us. It is serious. Now you're going to see that everybody's messaging is going where it needs to go because we're at a time of turmoil right now, and they got their weapons out. Their weapons are out. The parasitic weapons are live, and they're there. And the people, let me tell you something, they're working. They're working. That's all I can tell you, that they're working. So if you're going to come to Dallas, come to Dallas. And then right when he's done, Billy will be here. And then we're going to do some numerology. And then we're going to have Billy to come back to reinforce some stuff that he was doing in May or April. And then we're going to have Aaron Lyons here. And then Yaya is going to be here. Then I'll bring you some of my UFO people too. So we're going to tie in the C4. That's an explosive. That is an explosive situation here. And that's going to be conspiracy and conscious convergence community. And I've been tirelessly working, trying to get different help here and there, reaching out. All right, that's fine. We lift off now. And that's fine. And some of you have been there from day one through what we've been going through, and you're going to be blessed. But we're still going to be doing where you're going to come out free to our C4s and tell your stories, whatever you want to do. But let me get back on track there. Because a reptilian master, an army of embodied fetus like drones, that's another one of those archons. That's what I focus on because I know they exist. So if you get a little bit of me, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, you will begin to put together the puzzle, not the entire picture because nobody knows everything, but also from any modern researchers, this parallel is impossible to ignore. The Gnostics 2,000 years ago, describe the stunning precision to the two most commonly reported entities in modern UFO and alien abduction lore, the reptilians and the grays. They've been here. They've been here. That's where I started from. That's where I started from the reptilians and the grays. That's where I started from. So now we're going to take the conspiracy, because anyone in this part should start with conspiracy anyway. Anybody who's conscious and awake started with conspiracy. They had to have known that there was a conspiracy. But now we got to come together, because somehow they got us divided. They got us thinking the tinfoil hat is over here and they're laughing, and those people over there laughing or getting their energy just zapped because they're focusing on a flying saucer. That's fine. I was too. In doing that, but it's the unseen. It's the unseen. It's the unseen. It's the unseen. So we start our mantra in doing this. We have a beautiful place where we're going to be doing what we're doing. A beautiful place. Okay, this is the core, of course, where I'm going with this. The revelation of the Gnostics was not just wearing a creation myth, or they was writing those things. They were writing an intelligence briefing, a field guide to alien intrusions that began millennia ago. This stuff started a long time ago. And we are to believe, come on, if we are to believe the evidence, it has never stopped. It has never stopped. It started a long time ago. But listen, this narrative of pure monolithic evil, as terrifying as it is not the complete picture, people. The Gnostics' text, in their profound psychological complexity, offers, I would call it a twist. See, this is where it's getting ready to get good for you. This is where I smile and I grin and I know I'm doing the right thing, and my life is just blazing with energy and fire and the sun and all of that. It's just everything. It's like I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, and so are you. And we're going to need some of you to be promoters. So if you going to help promote, just listen to me now. There's an email address. It's Lonnie, Lani at truthversusauthority.com. Tell her you want to be one of our promoters, or if you're in Dallas, one of our volunteers. You know, we're just going to arsenal of people, and then we can switch them out for different events. And you being a volunteer in an event, you just come on in. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. We're going to have a lot, but we can move people around. But if you want to help promote Instagram, different places, I'm going to put an affiliate link and your messaging, whatever. But I need you to just let her know, because I'm setting all of that. Lonnie, Lani, Larry, Apple, Nancy, Igloo at truthversusauthority.com. And please, you know, when she communicate with you, communicate. So let me finish. We're building this. C4 and the Knowledge Beyond Reality events is happening. I've come a long way from creating, starting over here with this idea, and it all led now, and now it is happening. Because again, not all of these Archons were in agreement. That's the good part. Not all of them was in agreement. The Apocryphon or John, whatever, or the original of world describes a moment of a schism within the Archonic ranks. When the chief Archon, Yaldabaoth, arrogantly declared himself the only God, a voice of divine light from the Pleroma rebuked him. It was some light came in. It was light. So when he said, I'm only God, the Pleroma, there was a light came in and rebuked him, whatever you want to call it. But one of his own sons, the Archon named Sabbath, or the Sabbath, and you wonder why they do that, heard the voice. He saw the light of Sophia, or the Eon Sophia, and he realized the deception of his father. Okay, so make sure you study that. Took me a long time to get down into the Sophia side of things, but I'm here. And in that instant, the Sabbath repented. All right, he rejected the tyranny of Yaldabaoth, which was his father, and he aligned himself with Sophia and the realm of light. In return, Sophia elevated the Sabbath, or whatever you want to call him, giving him domain over 8 heavens, a new sphere above 7 prison planets of his father. That's why there's a war. There's a war. And people, this is all before religion. This is all before someone said we need a better control system, a better mechanism for them to control themselves with religion, and we need to tell them they're going to burn. They're going to burn. They're going to burn. That's not happening to you. You are loved just as much as I am. But this is a critical reversal. And what does that mean psychologically? It means that the Gnostic myth isn't just about us versus them. It's a story of consciousness rebellion against its own source. It is the birth of the rebellion mind. And if you went to, all right, you know what? I got rid of the commercial. I'd had it, but I did. I got rid of it. We got my guy Wesley sending the cash out. Thank you. I think I had a commercial thing, but yeah, I took it off. But anyway, no, here's one. When I first was going down this route, truth versus authority, I'm just going to play this for you. It's the rebellion, right? Look at this. I think this is it. And that was an old commercial. I'm wearing actually one of our rebellion shirts with love. You know, it says the rebellion, and it's love, truth versus authority, rebellion of love. You know what I'm saying? And that's where it is. But that was done a year ago when I already knew it was a rebellion. You get what I'm saying? Now the website is different. It's truthversusauthority.com now instead of store. But you get what I'm saying. I knew that the mind and you was just against authority. Now, Jordan Maxwell, if you've been here before, I played it, and let me let you know, Jordan Maxwell told it like it was. He said these words.
Live in peace and harmony. I think we're being set up for something very serious and very big by some very powerful secret societies that very well could have extraterrestrial or otherworld intelligence guiding it. I am very fearful for the world we live in because we bought it hook, line, and sinker, and all over the world we have accepted the authority as truth rather than truth as the authority.
Now, what did you see now? What is the name of my whole mission? Truth versus authority. It's a filed trademark. Did it over a year ago. It is registered. Nobody else can use it. It's ours as a community because this is serious. So let me get back to the story. It's not us against them. It's a story of consciousness rebellion against its own source. It's the birth of the rebel mind. This is why we started with sigils. This is why I started off. So once you go through with Brother Joseph and I, and you get your protection sigil up first, I don't, if that's not something you're going to do, I don't even know what to tell you. I don't even know what to tell you. I used to use sleep, literally, and have a little tear in my eye, wake up in the morning like, man, we got to protect people. We got to do it. Now I'm there because there's people who's going to do it, but there's people who want. There's a link, like I said, there. Go and register and come. And if you're in Dallas, come on, go look and see what it for you to be there with me. I'm gonna come. I'm not gonna do it here in the studio. I'm gonna go to a place where 10 or 15 of you can be right there while he's on the screen and then ask him questions. But anyway, Sabbath is the archetype of the shadow rebel. In fact, let me look real quickly. The shadow rebel, the reptilian shadow rebel. I know I have one in here. The archetype. I'm just going to go to the table of contents here. I just 500 and some pages. Shadow rebel. And maybe just read something to us here. Otherwise, if I don't see it right offhand, I better keep the show moving because I know how it gets. I know how people's attention span get when it comes out. Anyway, I don't see it right offhand, but I know I have an archetype in here. So anyway, he is the part of the prison that wakes up its own program, and he's the first Gnostic in the cosmos, the first warden to realize he's also a prisoner. Now, this introduces a profound complexity when you start thinking about it, because in our own minds are built by the Archons, and as the Gnostics claim, then their potential for rebellion. And the Sabbath principles, what they call it, must also be built into us. And the prison itself contains the keys to its own unlocking. The key is in there, and it's in you. It's in me, it's in you. See, this reversal extends to the Archon's primary weapon, interference, okay? See, the modern UFO lore that I begin with is saturated with tales of genetic engineering, hybrid breeding programs, but the Gnostics text offer a far more subtle and disturbing twist. See, in the hypothesis of this thing, of the Archons, they describe the ruler's attempt to sow their seed in Eve. How you remember that, but they failed. Eve, subdued with the divine spark, was too powerful for them. She laughs at them from the wilderness and blindness and transforms into a tree, leaving behind a shadowy reflection of herself. And the Archons, in their stupidity, can only defile the shadow and not the substance. And that's where you find out yourself, that shadow, right? Y'all with me? Y'all with me, right? Y'all with me today? Let me know if you with me today, that I'm just not talking out the side of my neck. Let me know. This is about what this implies. The Gnostics, in their own visionary experiences, concluded that the Archons cannot access our divine core or our genetic spirituality, reality, so to speak. They can only simulate it. And their greatest power is not physical violation, but a holographic deception. And I just keep entering the shadows of deception. See, there are masters of virtual reality. This is why we have the issues we're having today. We already know where they're moving toward. Everything is going toward this. I don't even have to say the word to get the video banned or whatever. You already know. But they're the masters of virtual reality. That's why they're trying to make us a digital human. A digital human. Hell, today you can go, men can go, I forget the name of the company. There's a company we can go put on some headsets and buy our digital woman of our dreams. And she will do everything we asked her to do for a little extra money. I don't know if that's the real world or the world, but either way. But here's the deal. She comes with a return policy. We can say, no, she's malfunctioning, doc. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what program y'all don't put it here, but I need a reboot. We can't do that. But you get what I'm saying? But it's happening. I forget the name of the company. It is one that exists. You can Google it, that you can go in and this thing, woman, whatever you want it to be, will do some of the most whatever things you can imagine. You got to upgrade it though. You get what I'm saying? Because it's the master of. So ladies, as much as divine who you are, they got so much chaos in between us men and women that men is, some of them, not I, is willing to turn to a virtual woman than have the physical essence of you hugging and touching and emotionally being by, because it's that simple. And God forbid when they make the virtual man. I'm just telling you. God forbid that. I want y'all to check the chat for me, please. I see something coming. If it is, y'all get on it immediately. Make them uncomfortable, whatever. Just check the chat and just pay attention. Well, anyway, they're the masters of this virtual reality. They create a fathom experiences, and then they affect our imaginations, as Gnostic scholar John Lash states, using the power of make-believe for deception and confusion. We already know Hollywood exists. We already know that that's how they're doing it, and they're doing it to our children. They're doing it to our children. They starting there. We start thinking of scripture. I said it before. you know, we can go church light and say, bring up a child, whatever, he's going to not stray from when he gets an adult. We thought that that was the godly principle, but I'm telling you that's a programming code, because they're doing it too. They're going to bring up our children for them, and our children's not going to stray away from the program that they put in us that we gave permission to. Everybody's using the playbook, people. The playbook. See, they make us believe that we are being genetically altered. They make us believe that they are our creators. See, this is the ultimate reptilian inversion. This right here. This is the ultimate reptilian inversion. They cannot do so. They can't make us believe it's being done. In other words, they cannot, how can I put it? They cannot do, so they make us believe it, is what I'm saying. That's how they mess with the minds. This is what they're doing. So this is what I consider the central term, because the threat is not the invasion of our bodies. The threat is the invasions of our mind. It's our mind. And this is where sigils and symbols access the unconscious mind. This is where let me tell you what I'm going to teach you. We're going to teach you how to write your personal sigil, not only for protection, but for what you want your mind and body to do. This is very important. I'm just give you a quick hint. Once you finish learning how the structure of this, you're going to learn how to activate it. And why you got to activate it and put it in the collective unconscious, because your conscious and subconscious can't go there. It cannot get into the collective unconscious. So if we use a sigil and we put whatever your desires, your manifestations, everything in the collective unconscious, then the conscious mind that does go and destroy things, tell you that you're not enough, tell you can't do it, make you do stupid stuff, make you call Roderick, whatever, stupid, crazy, whatever, it won't be able to find it, and it's going to work. You just forget and let it go, like a fire and forget missile. I'm giving you some hint here. I'm telling you some truth here, but you got to learn it. And go look at the website. It ain't much of nothing for you to be in that webinar online that Saturday and walk away with a new tool. And what do you got to lose other than what you ain't got? Okay? Whether it's a relationship, friendships, love, whatever, all the stuff. What do you got to lose what you ain't even got? But what they would do is keep you from getting what you can have. So they don't need to rewrite our DNA. They just need to convince us that they can, and we, in all terror, will let them do it on our own side. We'll give them our own sovereignty. And this war is not for our planet. It is for perception. You better believe it. It is for perception. I want you to stay with me now, because I'm on a whole new trend of where we're going now. I'm telling you, I'm going to take you where we're going, and we're going to do it. We're going to work together. There'll be people who are going to fall off. There are going to be people who are going to, whatever. And that's fine. But I'm going to give you the results of what we're doing right here, plain and simple. Plain and simple. So I want you to know. So for years, I looked at the Gnostic mythos as a bizarre fractal history and a relic of traumatized past when I used to look at it. But I was wrong. See, I was an observer passively consuming the story. See, but the Gnostic texts aren't just history. They're the diagnosis of the manual. They can diagnose these things, and they're a field guide for the human soul when you start looking at some of the things that they wrote. And then when you start thinking about the great psychological choreographer of Carl Jung, he provided the key. He mapped the collective unconscious, which led me to take some of his work, which is the architects, and then I really put it on here. So Shadows of Deception is how to detect the reptilian consciousness and unmasking manipulation in media, celebrities, and your world. And then to get it, then you get how to protect your solar plex. All this comes together. And then you see that? There's a reptilian back there. Then I'm going to give you a 100-page guide journal for your reptilian shadow to integrate it. All of it comes together right now, and a free shirt, I'm telling you. But it is taking a little while to ship, so just letting you know. But anyway, he mapped out the collective unconscious, the shared psychic inheritances of all humanity, and identified its primordial patterns, the archetypes, the hero, the mother, the sage, the trickster. He understands these not just ideas, but as living autonomous forces within the psyche. So, okay, I'm just going to do it right now. Let's go to the trickster. Let me find a page of the trickster. I'm just going to read you a couple of things from it. Let's see. The trickster. We got the narcissist there. Let's see. The trickster is page 271. Let's go there. Let's go. Okay. All right. So the trickster. All right. So I don't know if you can see that, but I have it as a reptilian. You see the picture of the reptilian trickster. You see that, right? All right. The trickster. All right. Now, real quickly, it's clever. This is the light side, playful. The shadow side is deceitful, sabotage, and manipulative. The core deception of this thing is fun. This is how they fool you, because it's all about fun. This is their central lie. The foundation illusions upon this entire shadow is built. It is the psychological hook designed to trap the target's perception and emotions. Understanding this core deception is the first step in dismantling it. Deception as fun portrays cunning and harmless play, masking the sabotage it infiltrates. Then I have what is called the light archetype, the mask of it. On the surface, the shadow trickster is a master of wit. They are clever, adaptable, playful, weaving mischief and delights and engage in others. Their charm feels endearing, presenting themselves as agents of light-hearted surprise. This is the mask of joyful ingenuity and a facade that conceals their deceitful intent. The next page says, the shadow unveiled of this is the operator's agenda. They have an agenda. The shadow trickster operates as a deceitful need to undermine, driven by sabotaging desires to disrupt stability. Their adaptability turns them into manipulation, using playfulness to mask their treachery. They manipulate through misdirection, turning trust into vulnerability while posing as a harmless prankster. Their true agenda is to sow discord and resentful in any order that limits their scheme. Then I have what is called the reptilian code, their program. It's on each and every one of these archetypes. I broke them all down. The critical section connects this specific human shadow archetype to overran reptilian agenda, a labyrinth of shy illusions carved into the earth, hidden corridors. It unveils why the program thrives and how it serves as a grand conspiracy of global control and energizing, energy harvesting, and opposing flaw that casts humanity as a compliant livestock. And in the game of shadows, it expanded under the reptilian rule. This archetype inverts the sacred value of cleverness into a tool for manipulative chaos, mirroring Anasta, the spider trickery in West African myth, guided by the reptilian hands to entangle human trust. Reptilian consciousness through the subterranean networks and hybrid bloodlines, the Illuminati, like the Rockefellers, known as the financial misleaders, and the Bundy family, tied to deception, influence, per conspiracy, amplifies the shadows of harvest loose from a confusion and betrayal. The shapeshifter proxies in media and political subterfuge use this to spread disinformation, ensuring deceive, energy drain populace, and sustains the shadow empire's cunning reign. Then I have a section called the shadow operation and manifestations. This is where the theory becomes practice. This section guides the archetype in the real world, providing concrete example of how program manifests in the wild, and you will learn to spot this program. So when you're looking at individuals, this is the friend who tricks you for laughs, the partner who sabotages subliminally, or the leader who manipulates with his charm, and the systems and organizations. This will be what we call fake news outlets that deceive and crafted narratives, and corporate sabotage companies that undermine rivals with tricks, and political spin campaigns that use misdirection this way. Then I have a section for the same shadow for conspiracy connections to symbolism. Oh, this thing goes deep. And then this section is where we talk about linking the archetype to well-known historical events, grand conspiracies, and a gallery of veils that unveil the shadow intricate artistry. Enhanced with the UFO, alien government ties. In 2006, Iran nuclear scandal is alleged to be a Rockefeller orchestrated deception per conspiracy note, making them alien tech deals. 2010, WikiLeaks released Reuters November 28, saw Bundy linked elite spin narratives to 200,022 Ukraine disinformation thing in February, dependent and manipulate chaos hidden at reptilian agendas. The symbolism of subsection reveals a mirrored mask with reptilian reflections and entangled to web under a UFO deceptive light. And then I have Luminous, the owl, the other part. This is your practical defense manual. This anti-instructions for your mind, what we call the owl sight, the necklace I'm wearing right now, the Luminous. This provides you with the actionable questions, language, and patterns to listen for, observer tools to see through the deception in real time. This is how you disarm the manipulative tactics and break their spell. Now, here's how you do that. You ask the question. You ask, does the cleverness uplift or undermine? What sacred values, adaptability is being inverted? Is trust being traded for tricks? Next, listen for the language. It's just a game. Look over here, or playful deceit. Observe the stability. The true play builds trust and reject the schemes and the stabilizer. Then I have light shadow work. If you don't get the guidebook, which comes with it, this is how you do your shadow work. This is the final, most essential step of the path of sovereignty. To analyze the essential world, you must turn the lens on the owl sight inward, and then the section provide reflected help to identify the same shadow and may open unconsciously. But anyway, by acknowledging and integrating your own inner shadow, you get neutralized the power, and you cannot control by a program. You have mastered it yourself. And this is how you cease to be a pawn and become a shadow operator. Reflects on your wit, and then you ask, do you deceive to gain advantage, or the sabotage to feel the clever? This is your inner trickster. Well, anyway, it continues to go, and then I give you some proof in the 54. This is 500 pages. Every archetype is broken down so you would know. This is the real deal, people. That's all. I just wanted to read that to you. This book, somebody asked, is called The Shadows of Deception. It's mine. I wrote it. It's on my website. Right now, it comes in a guide where because you want to protect your solar plex, there's going to be a little solar plex guide comes with it, and then a 100-page shadow journal. It's all comes together, and then I'll give you a free T-shirt. So go to the website, order. It's taking a while to get it because the printer, but this is 500 some pages, man, and it's it's a guide. You keep it. You get to talking to somebody, you be like, let me go check it out. But anyway, have you thought about collaborating with David Icke? Yeah, I talked to him before. He the one told me a couple of things. Let me finish and we'll go into this in a little bit. I probably got about 15 minutes, 20 minutes left of the story. See, the Gnostics call Archons will call what we call shadow archetypes, what I just kind of read to you, the reptilian ones, and they are the dark, distorted, unconscious aspects of these same divine patterns. You can find all of these guides on my website at truthversusauthority.com. And let me put that up here. You can go to the website. I think I can put it on screen right there. All right, so there you go. Let me leave that out there for now. So you can go there and get the guides and the whole trifecta on the website. You can go to, and you can find our event stuff there too as well. You can get your altar that I use, which is the symbolism of the all-seeing eye with the serpent knowledge and everything else. You can go there and support. It's up to you. But anyway, the Gnostics, it appears, were the first depth psychologists. Their cosmology is a map to the human mind projected onto what we consider the cosmos when you start thinking about it. So you go back to Yaldabaoth is the lion-headed serpent and the shadow ruler, the shadow despot, the ultimate archetype. All of these is in here. The shadow controller, all of it is in here. I call it the reptilian side of. He is the tyrannical ego, the part of our consciousness that is blind, believes it's the only God in the universe. His archons are the personifications of our own exam shadow impulses, all right? And this is the ultimate secret of their control. See, the Gnostics warn that the archons operate through a counterfeit spirit. They don't create. They imitate, right? They operate through the shadows of deception, or what I call the reptilian inversions. Okay, that's what's in this guide, and you can find it right here on the website, right there. They take our highest, most sacred values, the light aspects of the archetypes, and they invert them into weapons. And of course, the shadow altruist, which is what I talk about in here, turns the compassion into a tool of codependency and control. The shadow archetype type that I talk about turns the noble desire for order into a rigid obsession prison. The shadow protector, that reptilian shadow is in this guy, turns and drives the safety into a paranoid, isolated fortress. And the shadow sage turns the pursuit of wisdom into the endless to dogmatic dogma that hoards the truth instead of sharing. Again, all of it's in here for you to use, people. It's there. And we'll be talking about this in our C4, our explosive C4, conspiracy and conscious convergence community. This is a revelation. This is the Archons are not just out there. They are here. They are the programs operating our mental environment, as Josh Lash described. And if you go read some of his stuff, they are the inner puppeteers, right? When we act out our blind, unconscious rage, crippling jealousy, mindless conformity, we're not just having a bad day. We're arcanized. We are feeding the parasites. The Gnostic text was never about escape from earth. The prison is not the physical world. The Gnostic revered the earth as the embodiment of the fallen goddess Sophia. And so the prison is our perception. The prison is the counterfeit reality that simulate in our minds. The battle is not physical war with aliens. It is a psychological war for our own consciousness. The Gnostic scriptures are quite literally, in fact, a manual for deprogramming, a guide to symbolic sovereignty. They are the call to arms from the one of the battles that matter, the rebellion against the rulers of darkness of this world, against a spiritual dark forces of wickedness in outer space, so to speak. And the battle begins and ends with the mind. Your eyes are useless when your mind is blind. You better believe it. And as I come to a close, or we can have a little chat, but as I come to a close, so we're left with a profound choice. We have seen the blueprint of the prison. You're living in it. We have identified the wardens. I said that's in the videos. You haven't go back and listen. And we have located their programming, not in the stars, but in here, in you. And for too long, we have been observers, passive, confused, overwhelmed by reality that feels scripted to make us feel powerless. And we have been caught in this freaking reptilian inversion, taught to see our cages as safety and our chains as virtue. But we're not here to be victims of this invasion. We are antibodies. We're not just actors in the play. We are the operators. We're the ones who learn to see the strings, the puppet masters. We're the ones, the community minds waking up. And in the shared awakenings, we find our true power. We are the rebellion. Remember, we're all shared in this collective unconsciousness. That's why we do the community thing. And so if you take it for granted, that's fine. If you, okay, in the beginning, I'm making it work. It's just changing it and forever change. But I guarantee you, jump off the wagon and come back a year from now and you'll be lost. But you're going to see is the divine spark in a bunch of these people. And hopefully you can duplicate it in your city and in your city, because it is no longer trying to get everybody to be a truth seeker. We need you now to be initiated to become a truth speaker and activate the chakra, the blue in all of this that you see in this protection sigil that you're going to learn. You're going to learn it. You're going to learn it if you register for the lecture. You're going to learn it. That I'm telling you this, but I'm saying it's not your fault. You're going to be able to look at people that have treated you wrong, people that have thought you was crazy, and you're going to be able to look at them and just like, whatever. You get what I'm saying? You're going to let them know. You're going to be able to get the things that you want that was been blocking. You heard Doc B just tell you, you're going to get the things that they have been blocking you from because they're doing it. They're doing it. And what if it does cost something for you to do that? What the price have you already paid already for not knowing the truth and not knowing the information? Do you know the price that you have already paid that your soul is paying for? Do you even have a clue? And then we want them to make us upset because it may cost $50 or $20 or $15 or $100. Oh, what? Okay, they design it that way, but they program you to use their services. They program you to take their programming. They program you to give them your hard paycheck every time you work and give it and everything else. But they won't. They make you look at other people saying, oh, they just want money. But we don't even see that the water company just want money. We don't even see that the cell phone company just want money. We don't even see that the gasoline people just want money. We don't even see that the food just want money. We don't even see that it costs to be born, it costs to live, and it damn sure costs to die. They all want money. So if you're going to spend your money, you want to spend your money, at least get it so that when your soul leave here, it's done paid the price and you done left and not coming back. Anyway, you didn't find this video and live stream tonight by accident. You were led here by the spark that's inside you, because we're all collective. This is the part that you never believed the lie. I mean, you didn't. These Archons, the Wardens, they have one great fear, and that's not a savior from the sky that they want us to believe in. It's not a new religion or political movement. Their greatest fear is you. You, the awakened you with your eyes open. Your eyes are useless when your mind is blind. When your eyes open, you have to learn to decode their symbols and unmask their archetypes. You are willing to face your own shadow and reclaim the power that you have been given away. You got to do the shadow work. You got to trust the process. You have to. I'm telling you, you feel it in your soul. You know what I'm saying to be true. You may not. Okay, fine. Don't worry about it if it ain't what you ain't got today, but you plan for it tomorrow, because what you do today, you can't echo for tomorrow. That's fine. Today is not the end all. But do not be 6 months and a year from now and wish what you have heard today that you have thought about and you've done something about it today. Because regret is their most powerful weapon to draw energy from. And they love to set that up. Regret echoes through, everything. It is big. It is big. It is big. It is big. And they are the rulers of the dark, and you bring of the light. That's what you are. And the final rebellion is not fought with their weapons, people, or with weapons. It's fought with awareness. Remember, we all are conscious awareness. I am infinite conscious awareness. I'm all there is, has been, and ever can be. The creator, the source, us, all of us. We're all one. We are all it together. You get what I'm saying? So when we start thinking about what we're doing, and like I said, go to that website. You're going to see, and eventually I'm going to be having my UFO buddies here too. We're doing this in Dallas. So for me to be a creator, and if you don't know, in fact, real quick, I think I have just a real quick clip, something, it ain't but 2 seconds, but I can show you. All right.
Eve found the serpent more trustworthy than God. Not.
I just show you a quick clip. Yaya's going to be here my birthday weekend in March. She's going to be down here. Brother Yosef.
You're born looking like your parents.
Me and him doing the symbols and sigils on the 20th. You already know that, okay?
The problem that we're facing right now is when it comes.
Billy is coming in January and April here in Dallas. That's already set up. Make sure you get access to it. Then you have
blow up your ball with your desires.
You just saw he called in. He's going to be here December. In less than 30 days, he's going to be here in Dallas. And we all are doing private dinners afterwards for the VIPs in around King Arthur style, where we all just talk, laugh, and ask some questions. And then you're going to get this.
Having a blocked throat chakra also blocks the set of opportunities that could expand you into a...
I'm telling you, my sister is one of the best. She is one of the best. I called her. She said, I've been waiting for this phone call. She's a psychic. She said, I've been waiting for this phone call. And she's coming as well. Each one of them each month. Every single month, we're going to hit it hard starting this month. And because why? Because not only we're in that new age, but people, there is something that is happening, and you better get ready for it. First, get your sigils, and then get the knowledge and awaken that inner part. Because I'm telling you, it is serious. It is serious. I'm telling you, it is serious. I know. I'm just, he's just a big guy out here. You know what I'm saying, with his beard and stuff, is blah, blah, blah. He's the one got his little reptilian toys. You know what I'm saying? You can get you one. Go to my website. You get the Draco one. This is the newest one, my little reptilian figures. I just, it's a reminder. You know what I'm saying? That's okay. It's a kid in every king. It's a kid in every king. Again, the final rebellion is not fought with weapons, people. It's fought for awareness. It is the choice of stop being a puppet and start being what I call the puppeteers. The Gnostic is not just a knowledge, it is a weapon. And so I want you to go now. I want you to know I love you. I love you. I want you to go look at your world, look at your own mind. And for the first time, you're going to see the strings. You're going to see the strings, people. And it's more than just what I've told you. Yeah, I've taken you on a path from the Archons, the Reptilians. I started the journey, and now it's all the way down to your solar plexus chakras, your shadow work. It's all part of it. This is why conspiracy and conscious now convergence community is now in effect. It has been in effect, but it just hit me. Okay, we need to bring both sides. And then we're going to do our knowledge beyond reality events. And that's where we are. I want to thank all the people who, made their donations, and they are now just coming to these things. I appreciate it. I love you. I needed you. I really did. And you came forward. Now we could have had a little more, but that's okay, because the ones who did are supposed to. And the ones who couldn't, that means that not that you couldn't and you didn't because you didn't want to. That just let us know we are going to work together so that when we call them arms again, we're going to all be able to do it. And it may be for you or you this time, not for me, but we're going to have it. We might need to all contribute and help somebody and do something. Somebody becoming a new truth seeker, somebody who's ready to start their podcast. You got to get out here and stop doing a truth seeking, become a truth speaker. Okay? I don't mind. I'll have you on here. I'll have you as a guest. You can promote your podcast. I sure will. Long as you're part of the community, ain't no one-iter. I'll know that anyway, right? Because I communicate with you. That's fine. But we're going to do it. We're growing. We're definitely growing. Things are happening. And that's how we is. But anyway, 101. Remember, we talked about that. The 101. That's what the focus is. 101 divine souls here in Dallas. The one is the speaker, right? But 101. 101. All right. So I want to make sure we get 100 people every time we're doing it. And then the one is the speaker. And if we can get 101 souls and you're one of those, and then you go out and you touch some people, just 10, 20, 30. Now we're touching 1,000. And then at 10, 20, now we're touching 10,000. And 10,000 people on the same frequency, the same vibration, changing. They're going to run away from us. They're going to run away from us all across the board. You have right there, you have the link right here to the website. So you can get your guides. Then go to the virtual to register. I'm just telling you, and don't let it be a reason that you can't do it. Don't let it be because they're trying to get us into a point. Right now, the way society is going, they're making sure that you hoard and don't do nothing for knowledge. They're doing it. They're making people not want to have enough for knowledge. Are you kidding me? For the keys to the prison, and you can buy the key, and people like, nah, I just stay in here. I'll just stay in here. And I'm gonna tell you a story before I go. And this is a true story, by the way. When you start thinking about the life of a circus elephant, one of the most strongest, powerful creatures, mind, body, and soul that walks this earth. Even an elephant baby takes almost damn near 2 years for it to come out because it's so magnificent. Even the most strongest bull elephant in the world that will knock over a car, a truck, or whatever. You've seen them, right? They figured out a way to bring the power of that elephant down. They figured out a way that no matter how powerful this elephant, and that elephant is you as a metaphor, okay? I just want you to know that. Me, not because I'm big as an elephant. You want them to laugh. All right, Ryder, you big guy. Okay, whatever. I can laugh at myself. I'm saying you, the power in you is an elephant. I want you to see yourself as a magnificent elephant, power, tusk, just boom. It can knock down trees. Y'all seen it, right? It can flow. And they live long. They work as a family. Have you seen them? But they figured it out. They figured it out by taking something just as simple as a freaking rope. But they get the kids just like they do us. They get our children the same way. They take a rope and they tie it to the little baby elephant. Okay? And the baby elephant is furious. He's pulling on it. He's like, nah, hell no. I can break. But he's pulling. And it's all he knows because they're innocent. They don't know anything. But they got this rope on it, and he's pulling on him in a circle. That's how they train a circus elephant. And he's pulling and pulling until he just, he loses his faith of the strength because he's a small elephant. He doesn't realize he hasn't got big yet. So they get him while he's small. That's how they do our children. That's how they did you. And that's how they did me. But he's like, man, I can't pull this no more. Damn. And this is not going to work. This is reality. This is life. I'm stuck to this. This is my life now. I know I was an elephant. I look like one. Oh, shit. Well, my mom and daddy over there, they're tied to the same rope. Maybe that's just what life is. Maybe that's just what it is. So they got the elephant beaten down in the mind. Not because he's strength. The mind told him that he can't break the rope, the string. And not until he's a full-grown adult and he freaking go fucking nuts and crazy. Y'all know how they go crazy, right? The circus elephant go crazy. Well, that's how he realized he'd break it. And when he do break it, he is pissed. He is tearing up everything. He is ripping up everything. He's like, I've been tied to this rope. Because you remember, they don't know because what happens is the grown elephant pulls on it, and the reminder of them being strapped to it as a child reminds them that they can't break it. That's how they got us, right? But that elephant breaks that thing, and they go look at every elephant circus. They go freaking bananas. They are ticked off because they're highly intelligent, and they're going to hide it all of this time and let you fools hold me back. They even did that in the movie Powder. You remember the movie Powder? With the kid with the bright whatever. And remember, they was telling him how intelligent he was. And he was like, if you thought I was that smart, you would know I know what the meaning of the word. But anyway, they kept holding him. And then he revered his power and blew up everything. He said, how long do y'all think I'm going to let y'all keep me here? Are y'all freaking nuts? But anyway, when that elephant breaks that rope, he tears up everything. He knocks over cars. He knocks over all that kind of stuff. And he knows he now has the strength, but he is mad. He's a mad animal. And you know what they end up doing? They got to put him down. And that's how they do us when we open and awaken and start getting at this. We got to be a little more clever. When we do break the rope, we still got to walk like them. You get what I'm saying? We still got to walk like we got a rope tied to us and just, but every inch you just getting further and further away. They can't see it. They just think we still tied to the rope, but we're just not doing a rampage. We're just not out here tearing up shit, right? You know what I'm saying? Excuse me, as kids watching the sugar honey iced tea. We're not just out here tearing up sugar honey iced tea. We're just basically moving, and they look up and we're gone. They'd be like, what happened? Damn. Then we have them tied to a rope. But that's my storytelling. That's my story for you to know tonight. It just came out of the blue. And y'all know I like telling stories and all of those things. And that's it. But anyway, I love you. I love each and every one of you. I hope you found value in tonight's show. I hope you find it a point where you know you need to come to our sigils and symbols, or maybe you come down here with Doc B. Go to truthversusauthority.org, which you see down there, and you will see our schedule. And I got to add a couple of more people to our event structures. Make sure you come to Dallas and enjoy. And definitely if the VIP suits you, you can kind of do that as well. But it's going to be an experience, an immersive experience. And so with Doc B, real quick, I'll kind of play this little mini clip of what he does there in Atlanta, that he's going to do here with us, and we're going to do it, and we got a big enough space to do it in a room.
Blow up your ball with your desires. What do you desire? What are you crystallizing? What would you like to attract? You got to tell yourself inside, every cell, every part of you, the friendly bacteria, everything in your body, and let go of all the things that are outside of this ball, outside of your attention. Are you ready? Yes. So what we're going to do, we're going to let it go wild. You can spin and throw it everywhere. Come on.
Ooh, y'all see that lady over there crying? Y'all see her crying? It's an immersive experience. She just let it all go. It could be you. We ain't got to go to Atlanta for that. We're going to get it here. He's coming here. I'm as a creator, he's coming here. I'm telling you, we're going to enjoy you. What a Christmas present to yourself. Okay? What a Christmas present to yourself. He's coming here, Atlanta. Yeah. Thank you, Ren Stars. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. And all of you, pretty much. And we're going to do what we got to do. Anyway, once again, I love you. It's been a plum, pleasing pleasure as well as a privilege. Give somebody a hug. If you didn't hear I love you over the weekend, let me let you know I love you, and I'll tell you that I love you and everything else, because you should be hearing not the fake love, the one that just runs out of the door. Love you, love you. You know, it's like a parrot. We talking about a true immersive. I love you because you are beautiful. You are not a bad person. None of you are a bad person. Sometimes we just don't make the right decisions for humanity, right or wrong. That's the only thing that we have to do is learn to make better decisions. And the code of it that I'm starting to do now is that I ask before I make this decision, is it going to hurt me or anyone else? You know what I'm saying? And if that decision doesn't do either or, I can at least move forward with a little more thought into it, okay? And we're not here to hurt anyone. If I have done anything hurt, been late on a package, I'm still got something I got to send out, please forgive me. And I also forgive you for thinking bad about me. If you are anybody who thought, and my haters, I love you. Y'all know, you know, so I'm going to release each and everybody who thinks bad, who thought bad, whatever, says something bad about me. That's all released, and I'm going to burn it in my mind. There you go. But at the same time, to just know that you can charge it to the mind and not the heart. And the heart of love is where we at. Okay. So with that being said, I'll see y'all tomorrow on Forbidden Knowledge, and we'll kind of do the same. Yep, the elephants have a short memory, and we're going to do that. Also, links is in the description everywhere.
UFOs,
UAPs,
unidentified anomalous phenomena,
unidentified aerial phenomenon.
Who are they? Where are they from? And what is their intent?
all questions that immediately come to mind with the mention of UFOs. A Pentagon report is detailing a dramatic increase in UFO sightings, more than 350 since 2021. Many of them are explained as being drones, birds, or weather events, but about half of them remain unexplained.
There's a whole fleet of them. Look on the ASA. Oh my gosh. They're all going against the wind. The wind's 120 knots from the west. Look at that thing, dude.
This video taken by the Navy showing what he describes as pyramid-shaped UFOs flying over the USS Russell off the San Diego coast in July of 2019. The Pentagon has since confirmed that the video is authentic.
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army. Army officers say the missile, found sometime last week, has been inspected at Roswell, New Mexico, and sent to Wright Field, Ohio, for further inspection. Late this afternoon, a bulletin from New Mexico suggested that the widely publicized mystery of the flying saucers may soon be solved. Army Air Force officers reported that one of the strange discs had been found and inspected sometime last week. Our correspondents in Los Angeles and Chicago have been in contact with Army officials endeavoring to obtain all possible late information. Joe Wilson reports to us now from Chicago. The Army may be getting to the bottom of all this talk about the so-called flying saucers. As a matter of fact, the 509th Atomic Bomb Group headquarters at Roswell, New Mexico, reports that it has received one of the discs which landed on a ranch outside Roswell. The disc landed at a ranch at Corona, New Mexico, and the rancher turned it over to the Air Force. Rancher W.W. Brazil is the man who discovered the saucer.
There's footage and records of objects in the skies that we don't know exactly what they are.
More people are coming forward with their own sightings.
Videos recorded by U.S. Navy personnel have added a new layer of evidence to the current national debate about UFOs.
Right at that moment, I saw what looked like 5 lights flying in formation in kind of an inverted check mark.
The NASA independent study team did not find any evidence that UAP have an extraterrestrial origin. We don't know what these UAP are.
The mysterious flying objects are still a mystery. NASA will continue investigating them and has appointed a director of UAP research.
Technology that we faced was far superior than anything that we had.
Let's try.